Housing is often the main challenge facing persons living with disabilities in the rural areas of the Eastern Cape. This infringes on the right to adequate housing, which is one of the basic human rights recognized in South Africa's constitution. This right, along with the right to water and sanitation, seem to be lacking when it comes to persons living with disabilities. Disabled 64-year-old Alpheus Mzalwana at Luna Village in Bizana faces almost all of the above challenges. The dilapidated house he lives in was a gift from a woman he once worked for as a head boy.
I'm feeling unhappy because one day this building is going to collapse anytime because there's no foundation. As far as is water coming out when it's a long time. Okay. It's like a swamp, this area. I've been asking the government to help me, but I fail.
During inclement weather conditions, Mzalwana has to use an outside toilet. It is also not conducive for someone in his condition.
As you can see, I am using crutches. I had to ask my children to put some concrete blocks so that I can step on them because the toilet seat is a bit high. I cannot use my crutches and they often sleep when I get inside it and I fall.
Disabled person Nosihle Cedwa lives in deplorable conditions at Buntingville village in Nqeleni. The wheelchair-bound woman suffered a stroke in 2018 which badly affected her speech. Financial constraint and her immobile state have made it impossible for her to go get her treatment. Moving her around becomes a struggle as the house they live in is not conducive for her condition.
No one is working. We are a family of 5 here at home. We have 3 boys and a girl. My boys are old, but they are not working. My wife gets her disability grant, so we all depend on that disability grant of hers. That has made things worse because she uses nappies and we must make sure we buy at least 4 packs of nappies per month. So our needs here at home exceed the money that we have.
Ngweni village in the small rural town of Libode lives 67-year-old Zidata Hlazane. He lives in a rented one-room despite years and years of applying for a house. Hlazane got disabled while he was 5 years old after he could not feel his legs. Getting in and out of his rented house is a struggle. He also struggles as he has to use an outside toilet to relieve himself.
I
have nothing to boast about. I'm just a nobody because I don't even have a background. I can't say I'm going home. When I go home, I'm only going to relatives. I do not have a home or family. It hurts.
Organizations for people living with disabilities have been raising their plight. They say government only takes disability issues for compliance purposes.
Accessibility is a very big challenge, even in buildings that are built after 1994. Inclusion is the second biggest challenge in disabled people. You can just look at the houses that are built by government department and see how many disabled benefited in those houses. I don't want to talk about job opportunities given to disabled people because you can rate 1% in it, and yet there is a percentage that is regulated by government for those disabled people.
The Department of Human Settlements concedes to the housing backlog, especially to the designated groups. The backlog is attributed to blocked projects, mainly due to shoddy workmanship or sometimes unresolved land claims.
The backlog, and that's what led the department to resolve to prioritize the delivery of housing to our elderly people, to our people living with disabilities and child-headed households. And there is bound to be backlog if you consider that we were dealing in the past financial year with 87 blocked projects, and successfully, and we're happy to say at the start of this financial year, 56 of them have already been unlocked. Now, in that delivery of the 56 that has been unlocked, let us quickly prioritize people living with disabilities in accepting that there was almost a limping on our part in how we deliver services, particularly to those designated groups.
The organizations for people living with disabilities are calling for consequence management to any government departments that fail to implement disability issues. Disability Month is marked on the 3rd of November until the 3rd of December. Fundiswa Mhlekude, SABC News, Eastern Cape.